I promise you people I'll be live today and I didn't disappoint. I'm back here live and I'm your guy GRAFT-CITY. Today there is another topic I want us to address. This is actually not that political, but it's also part of our liberation. This is also part of our liberation, African liberation. If you are talking of African liberation, this is also a topic which needs to be addressed, and it's very necessary for us to address this particular topic. I want to ask my viewers, do African talents, when I'm talking about talents, I'm talking about when it comes to music, when it comes to movies, do African talents need Western validation? Do African talents need Western validation? This is a topic in my heart, a topic that I really want us to discuss. Do African talent need Western validation? If you think African talent need Western validation, I think you can leave your comment in the comment section for us to understand why African talent, like musicians, like movie actors, like inventors, those who also invent stuffs, do they need Western validation? I don't think, for me, I don't think so, but maybe you may have different view. Do African talent need Western validation? I don't think African talent need Western validation, but there have been a series of some social media discussions that sometimes it breaks my heart. You know, for some few years now, some what do we call it? Musicians, the African music has been making waves. African music has been making waves across Africa, and if across Africa and across the world, African music has been making waves across the world. And one country which is doing well is Nigerian music. So since Nigerian music started taking off, it has brought a little pressure on other African countries who think they also have talent for them to make it big on the international platforms. So African music is now going global, and many African countries wish or also fighting hard to also be recognized, which has been very hard. So recently we have heard, I think somewhere last 2020 or 2021, Burna Boy received Grammy Awards, which is very commendable because every musician's dream is to win accolades, which includes awards. And awards, not just local awards, but especially foreign awards or international awards. So Burna Boy have won Grammys. Wizkid from Nigeria has also won Grammys. And a lot of African talents have won international awards like BET, MTV Awards, and a whole lot. So a lot of awards has been won by Africans. If I'm talking about award, I mean international awards. So with that, many African countries, especially where I am, the citizens feel that their artists or musicians are also not doing enough for them to be recognized outside there. A lot of people has been challenging the artists. In Ghana, some have even talked back about how their artists or their musicians are not doing so well to also push up to where Nigeria has pushed their standard too, which is very good. Everybody is looking up to Nigerians now. But one thing which is baffling me is the manner most of these people present, most of Ghanaians present the whole idea about all this validation, because it seems like now Grammy Awards is the ultimate win. If you are a musician from Africa, Grammy Award is the ultimate win. If you don't win Grammy, you are not doing enough. And that is where I have problem with my fellow Africans. That is where I have problems with my fellow Africans, because I don't think you need Grammy, because we have a lot of great musicians who did well, who has left names behind, but they never won Grammy. Let me give you people like Tupac. I don't think Tupac won Grammy. I don't think Bob Marley won Grammy, but their music still resonates with people. That is where I want to express myself. We shouldn't push people for them to be validated by Western countries before we know they have talent. We have talented African musicians who are doing well, but because of support or because of them not with any big record label or a big international record label, they are not being nominated for big awards, which is a fact. So before, what Africans should understand is that before you can get into all this platform to win Grammys, to win MTV awards, you have to be part of a record label that can push your brand up to that standard. And the truth is, not all talented musicians can have that opportunity. And that is where the problems comes in. Not all talented musicians can have that opportunity. And that is where the problems comes in. So we shouldn't base our talent. We shouldn't base our innovations. We shouldn't base all our efforts on Western validation. That is where the problems comes in. We shouldn't be validated by Western countries before we can say we have achieved enough. That is where I have the issue. If a musician have talent, what we need from him is produce good music, produce quality music. With all these validations, without you associating with big record labels from outside, you are not going to get that. And many Africans don't have that resources to be able to push them to get to that level. So I don't think we have to push our artists all to be winning Grammys before we can know that they have talent. We have great artists who are doing so well, but because they don't have the opportunity to go outside there, so we think they are not talented enough. That is why today I'm asking, do talented Africans need Western validation before we can call them talents? Do African talented musicians or talented innovators need Western validation before we can say, oh, they have arrived, this is what they have to achieve? That shouldn't be. Even with this situation, why don't Africans come together and build our own awards? Why don't Africans come together to build things our own, instead of Western organizations to recognize us before we know we have talent? We have great musicians. You can go to countries, and one thing a lot of people don't understand is that these days all these digital platforms and music and all these things deals with numbers. These days everybody deals with numbers. So we have countries who don't have the numbers in favor of them. We have a lot of countries who don't have the numbers. So all these record labels put all these things into consideration. Talent comes first. Yeah, that is good. Talent comes first. But numbers. These days, everything is numbers. As I'm talking, I wish my numbers should have jumped to 1,000 people watching. But at the end of the day, I'm now starting. I started live recently, so I'm not expecting to get a lot of people watching. So that is also in one factor. So everybody is dealing with numbers, and even if my numbers go up, my income will also increase. That is the fact. So everybody now, if a brand wants to deal with you, they go through your Instagram to check your numbers. They go through your Facebook to check your numbers. They go through your Twitter to check your numbers to know that you have the number in favor of you before brands deals with you or brands endorse you. So numbers is one factor. But a lot of African countries don't have the numbers in favor of them. And that has also bring a lot of, because recently I just go to YouTube and search for Togo music, and sometimes I get musicians and I ask myself, I listen to some music and I ask myself, why is this person not at the top of his career? Or why haven't I heard this guy before? Because he got the talent, he has, his music is good, his music is quality, but at the end of the day, they don't have the resources to push into that standard. So I want to encourage African talent, everybody who is trying to prove something to the world, that you don't need Western validation before you can call yourself a good talented person. You don't need any validation from anybody. You just have to show your talent, and if your talent is quality, if your talent is good, I know you are going to get to where you are supposed to go, and even it will leave a indelible mark. We have some Ghanaian musicians who are not relevant anymore, but at the end of the day, we still listen to their music. Their music, which they produced few years ago, like since 80s, are still being played. They never won Grammy. They never won what do we call it? Any big award. But their music is speaking for itself, and that is where I want to draw the line. Your music should inspire people. It's not always about numbers. It's not always about accolades from international platforms. It's not always about awards. You have to make sure that your purpose has been achieved, and if your purpose is achieved and you are being given an accolade, that is bonus for you. So those who are pushing their people, I have seen Ghanaians trying to push their artists to be like Nigerians, Ghanaians trying to push their artists to go and win Grammys, but at the end of the day, it's not what you think it is. It contains a lot of work, and it contains, and we don't need it. We don't even need it. We don't need the Western validation. You just have to produce your quality work, and at the end of the day, you are going to be recognized even whilst you are dead. So today, that is what the question I want to leave for my subscribers to answer is: do Africans need Western validation? Do Africans need Western validation? So please, those who are watching, as I've for the past 1 week, I've been telling you, I have started my livestock farming, which I've gotten the land, which I went there to show you. I went there to show you my land, and I want to start livestock farming. So anybody who want to contribute or want to support can find all the details in the on the description site. If you go to my description site, you are going to see all the details you need to support. If you are in US, you can donate through ZELLE. If you are wherever you are, you can be in US, and you can also donate through wire transfer, and it will come straight into my farming bank account. And I know I've been telling you these days, every evening I'll be coming on live for us to address one problem or other. As we have decided to liberate Africa, we have no option but to make sure we address few challenges that is facing the continent. And this is one which is also facing the continent, and I wanted us to address it today because at the end of the day, we don't need any Western validation to achieve our dreams. What we all have to do is make sure we deliver what we have been coming on this planet to do. If there is any bonus or if there is anything to be appreciated with, is bonus. But whatever talent is in you and you want to showcase to the world or you want to showcase to your country, just go ahead and showcase it. Don't let somebody's Grammy, don't let somebody's awards intimidate you. Grammys or all these awards, you shouldn't let it intimidate you. Just do what you know you are best at it. And one day, you are going to get appreciated somewhere. So please, don't also forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button so that anytime I upload any great content, you will be notified. So those who couldn't join us too, I hope you can join us tomorrow. I do appreciate anybody. Those who are able to join too, I do appreciate you, and I know you have enjoyed yourself. So see you tomorrow, and I know we are going to have more fun. Tomorrow is strictly political, and there is a whole lot of things for us to discuss. I salute you all. Thanks for watching.